Hey guys, this is God of Politics. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are now at 341 subscribers. Can we get to 500 subscribers by election day? Please like this video and subscribe to the channel so that we can get there. And also join the Discord that is linked down in the description and check out the website that is linked down in the description. I update it every day with my new poll analysis, my new updated ratings for the elections coming up, and it is very interesting, so you should check it out. But in today's video, I will be talking about the Iowa Senate race. Now, not a lot of people have been talking about this, but we did have a recent poll that, I would say completely changes the state of the race, or at least reaffirms what I've been thinking for a while, which is that this seat is definitely in play. Now, Iowa is a state that Donald Trump won quite easily in 2016. If you want to look at the 2016 map, Trump won this state by 8.4 percentage points. So, he won it actually 9.4 percentage points. So he almost won it by a safe margin, actually voted to the right of Texas. And then we look at this, we see, there's only 6 blue counties, and if we look back at 2012, there's too many blue counties to count right here. Obama won this state, by almost 6 percentage points. So that's a huge trend towards the Republican Party in 2016. But there is still hope for the Democrats. If you look at 2018, Democrats actually won the popular vote in the Iowa House races. They flipped 2 races. They flipped Iowa's 1st congressional district and they flipped Iowa's 3rd congressional district, holding Iowa's 2nd congressional district by a pretty wide margin. So it does give Democrats hope. And what that is proof of, you see Obama won it by 6, Trump won it by 9, Democrats won the popular vote. What that's proof of is that it's a very swingy state. You also want to look at 2016. You can see that Chuck Grassley won by 30 percentage points. You look back in 2012. As you can see, Obama won it quite easily. You go back to 2008. The governor race. Went to the Democratic Party to Tom Harkin by around 30-something percentage points. So it has voted for people of both parties by pretty large and substantial margins, and that is part of the reason why I think it's in play. Now, the second reason is the fundraising. Now, if we want to look at the fundraising for this race here, we can see that Teresa Greenfield currently has $11.6 million raised. Joni Ernst has $14.4 million raised. In terms of cash on hand, Joni Ernst does have an advantage, $9.1 million to $5.7 million for Teresa Greenfield. The new fundraising numbers, I do believe, come out actually tomorrow, so we will see updated numbers. I will make a ratings change, possibly, if they are good numbers for Teresa Greenfield. But the point of this is that Teresa Greenfield is actually doing quite well against Joni Ernst. If you look at the House, Democrats are doing very well in fundraising, outraising even Republican incumbents. In the Senate, they are, pretty much on par with incumbents. If you look at 2014, we can see here Joni Ernst and Bruce Braley got pretty much the same amount of fundraising. Joni Ernst ended up winning. Remember, 2014 was an R+6 electorate. You saw Obama won in 2012 by 6 percentage points. Joni Ernst goes on and wins by 8 percentage points in 2014. So it's a very swingy state. Democrats have the opportunity to win here. Now, the polls have shown it quite close. I showed you actually this Des Moines Register poll, which showed Teresa Greenfield up by 3 percentage points. And, I analyzed a lot of these polls. I went all the way back to 2004, the presidential races, the governor races, Senate races, and the Democratic and Republican primary races. And the Des Moines Register poll has an average error of just 2 percentage points. So that is a very, very small margin of error. And if you want to look at it at a partisan basis, in races where there's Democrat and Republican running, their average bias is Democrat +1. So, on average, they overestimate the Democratic candidate by 1 percentage point. Applying that onto this race, Teresa Greenfield is currently winning by 3 percentage points according to their poll. She would end up winning the race. So this proves that she really does have an opportunity to win. We want to look at the most recent poll from Des Moines Register. Sure, 2018 governor. They got it 5 points off. We can see here they had Fred Hubbell winning by 2 percentage points. Kim Reynolds won by 3 percentage points. We also, if you want to look back at 2016, however, you look at the 2016 race, we can see they were the only one that got close. They predicted Trump winning by 7 percentage points. Trump ended up winning by 9.5 percentage points. Nobody else even got it close. Not even Emerson got it close. We want to look at the 2016 Senate race. They predicted Chuck Grassley to win by 23 percentage points. He won by 24.4 percentage points. So you could say, sure, in the future, that maybe they've overestimated Democrats Democrats a little bit more. But sure, their poll is still very accurate. They got it right in the Democratic primary this year as well. So I would definitely trust this poll. And if you want to look, more deeper into the poll, we can see some very good information. We can see 3% said they would vote for someone else, as in a third party. I believe if we look at this, there's a third party candidate, Susan Herzog. Part of that could be due to the fact that Joni Ernst is not a popular senator. She's done some shady things. I'm not going to get into what I think of them, but that's just what has been a message of the campaign so far. That is, maybe part of the reason that there are some third party voters. It says 2% say they will not vote in the race, and 7% are unsure. So you can look at the number 45 to 42 and think, sure, lots of undecided voters, lots of chance for the state of the race to change. But sure, there's 2% more undecided voters than last time, but it's only actually 7% undecided voters. So sure, there's room for Joni Ernst to gain. She may have the undecided voters break for her, but we've had similar situations in the Des Moines Register's poll before, and they've ended up being right. And that's usually because undecideds break, more or less 50-50 to the candidate. If they break 75 to 25, that doesn't even add that many points to the candidate's margin, especially since there's only 7% of the vote that's actually undecided. Now, this poll is Des Moines Register, but really it's done by Seltzer & Co. They're the one who conduct the polls. They also have a very good national poll that's been pretty much on par with the national average as well. It was 803 Iowa adults, including 658 likely voters. It has a margin of error 3.5 percentage points here. If we look at the pie chart here, we can see Teresa Greenfield does have an edge here. We can also see it says among likely voters, 75% say their minds are made up from 68% in June. Another 14% say they could be persuaded. So this is a number that is, you could say it's worrying for either candidate, to be honest. Probably more worrying for Teresa Greenfield because, in most of the races we've seen, for example, in the presidential race, you have 95% that have made up their minds for the race. In this race, it's only 75% of likely voters. So there is an opportunity for Joni Ernst to come back. We'll wait to see the last Des Moines Register Iowa poll. That's when I'll make my final prediction. I've been saying it for a while. My predictions will be right before the election, but I'll continue to do them up until the election. It says more Ernst supporters are firm in their choices, with 87% saying their minds are made up and 13% saying they could be persuaded. Then Greenfield supporters with 83% saying their minds are made up and 16% saying they could be persuaded. So that, kind of proves what I've been saying, that it could help Joni Ernst in the long run. It says so far both parties and various outside groups have reserved a combined $155.5 million in TV, radio, and digital advertisements for their election day, an amount that is surpassed only by the $200 million that is being reserved in the North Carolina Senate race. So there's a lot of money being spent in this race, and part of that is due to the fundraising that Teresa Greenfield has got. And, after Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, there was a record amount of fundraising for Act Blue. A lot of that would have gone to Teresa Greenfield, and I do expect her, this may be a pretty bold prediction, but I do expect her to actually overtake Joni Ernst in terms of fundraising, but we will see about that. It says majority of likely voters want more from Ernst. If you look back at 2014, Joni Ernst ran a campaign that was very, the new person on the block kind of campaign. And she ended up winning very well because of that, because it was the 2014 red wave year. It says today, a majority of likely voters, 56%, say that Ernst hasn't done enough in Congress to benefit Iowans. That includes 19% of those who say they plan to vote for her in the election, and 25% who say that they plan to vote for Donald Trump in re-election. It says another 33% Ernst has done enough, and to help Iowans, and 11% are unsure. So the gist of this is that Ernst is not the most popular figure, and it is hurting her because of that. Most people think she hasn't done that great of a job. Teresa Greenfield is running a good campaign. She's running a very rural-based campaign. Part of that could be to do with getting a lot of these rural counties back. This is around the 1st District, I believe, over here. The 1st District up in the northeast part of the state. You see how much of it went from blue to red in 2016. And so if Greenfield can win back some of those voters who had definitely voted, Democrat before, we look at Dubuque County, Iowa. Obama won this 56-42. Trump ended up winning this 47-46. So if Greenfield can gain with those voters, then it is going to help her overall. And overall, with an overall national average shift towards the Democrats, Joe Biden is probably going to do better nationally. That should be able to help her as well. And looking at how it translates onto the actual map, we can just fill in some of these likely states: Minnesota, Michigan, Texas, Georgia. Fill in some of the lean states. Georgia's lean. We can also put Colorado at likely, Arizona at lean, Montana at lean. And then it really comes down to these 3 races here. So, for example, if you give Maine to the Democrats, but you narrowly give North Carolina to the Republicans, it comes down to Iowa. And I've done this for many different races. But there are a lot of scenarios where many different states are, kind of the tipping point where it comes down to it. And in that scenario, if Iowa were to go blue, it would give Democrats the 50-50 majority, and probably in this scenario, having Joe Biden be the president with his vice president Kamala Harris breaking the tie. But say they also win North Carolina, that gives them an actual Senate majority of 51 rather than having the vice president breaking a tie. So this scenario would give them 51 seats. I actually could see this as a likely scenario. If you looked at my video yesterday about the 538 models for this election, you would have seen that it actually has a 51 seat scenario as a likely scenario. After that poll, Joni Ernst's chance of winning went down from 59% to 55%. And if the fundraising numbers are good for Teresa Greenfield, I actually probably will move this seat to tilt blue, and this probably will be what my map looks like overall. But stay tuned for that. I'll update my next Senate map at the beginning of October. We also have the debates coming up. Early voting has already started. We're getting very close to the election. I hope you will continue to watch me, continue to like the videos, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description. Check out the website as well. I update it every day with new election predictions, new ratings, new poll analysis, new videos, all of that. So check that out as well. So again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.